Gen Z will be watching Trump and Biden debate. Will the old guy say the right things? President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump will face off in a debate on CNN next week, and we'll all be watching. If they want to win over Gen Z, they'll need to use this time wisely. Both major party candidates are decades older than Generation Z's oldest members. Biden is 81, Trump is 78, and the oldest Zoomers are 27. But they both need my generation's attention to eke out a victory in November. While it isn't guaranteed that Gen Z will tune in, the majority of us prefer streaming services over cable. Both candidates should be thinking about how their platforms can be truncated to fit on a phone screen. As of June, both candidates are on TikTok, where a third of 18 to 29-year-olds get their news, according to the Pew Research Center. To get the quick remarks that will perform best on TikTok or Instagram, both candidates will need to stay on topic and consider three major issues for Gen Z in the upcoming election. The majority of stories about Gen Z this election cycle have been about voter apathy and the disillusionment our generation feels about the electoral process. In spite of these headlines, I have faith that Gen Z voters will show up to the polls in November. We can't vote for Trump. Gen Z voters like me should be mad at Biden. But we can't risk another Trump presidency. There are a few issues motivating Gen Z voters. Tufts University's Center for Information and Research on Civic Learning and Engagement, CIRCL, found that the majority of Americans ages 18 to 34 that they spoke with say the cost of living/inflation are among their top concerns ahead of the 2024 election. And 28% say jobs that pay a living wage are among their priorities. Despite the flack Biden has received for the economy, parts of it have improved during his time in office. The unemployment rate has been below 4% for 16 straight months. More than 270,000 jobs were added in May, and the stock market has been performing better under Biden. All of these things should be mentioned at the debate. Trump and the Republicans typically blame Biden for a reportedly bad economy. The former president will likely make these claims again during the debate. Trump will probably also mention his tariff idea, a 10% tax on all goods coming from outside the United States. I'd rather see the former president talk about tax cuts or other Republican solutions to the imagined economic turmoil. Both candidates would be wise to talk about the successes under their respective economies, and would also be wise to attack their opponent's record. Gun violence remains a top issue. The survey from CIRCL revealed that gun violence is the third most pressing issue for Gen Z voters, just behind jobs that pay a living wage and cost of living/inflation. Gun violence is also a prevalent issue because of the Supreme Court. The justices recently reversed a ban on bump stocks, which alter semi-automatic rifles and allow them to fire quickly. The ban was signed into law under the Trump administration. For Biden, the best option is to talk to people at March for Our Lives, a youth-led nonprofit founded after a mass shooter killed 17 at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. The organization has a number of objectives from banning assault weapons to addressing poverty and the prison industrial complex in an effort to curb their effects. For Trump, addressing gun violence could mean doubling down on his declaration to NRA members earlier this year that no one will lay a finger on your firearms. It might also require him to discuss his own gun license, which may be revoked by the New York Police Department because of his recent felony convictions. If he does talk about guns, my hope is that he will at least prioritize common-sense gun laws over the most right-wing members of his party. Abortion is driving conversations and voters. If Biden and Trump want to dig into another issue that motivates both Gen Z and older generations, they'll talk about abortion. The Sarakiel polling found that 19% of Americans ages 18 to 34 say expanding access to abortion is one of their top 3 issues. Surprisingly, both candidates are weak on the issue. Biden has publicly said he does not personally support abortion. Trump has tried to avoid the issue and won't go on record about whether he would support a national ban. What I would like to hear from both candidates is simply the word of abortion. Not something about a woman's right to choose or the phrase abortion on demand. I want the two candidates to have an adult conversation about what they want to see with regard to abortion nationwide. If Republicans are pushing for a total abortion ban across the country, Trump should just say that. He's already bragged about